What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm making this video just because I want to talk about a couple things. There's really not a whole lot going on. There's no practice and stuff today, so there's no really important news. But obviously everybody's still, talking about the Miami Miracle and everything that happened this past game. But it's funny, right? Because I've been watching a lot of stuff, watching all these different shows, getting these different perspectives from all these different people. I watched a lot of fan reactions. That was a lot of fun. But, it's funny because there's always damn near every single, person, show, or whatever that talked about this situation always has a focus on the Patriots, even there's always, of course, the Patriots are going to be fine. They're going to blah, 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 right? But then, of course, even there's, oh, well, the Patriots made mistakes. Bill Belichick outsmarted himself. Oh, why did he have Gronkowski out there? Tom Brady let up a sack on third down before the half, and he supposedly didn't know that they didn't have a timeout, blah blah blah. But it's always Patriot centric, right? Nobody ever gives us credit, hardly, particularly outside of Dolphins media and stuff like that, and even they still sometimes are Patriot centric, but it's always focused on the Patriots. Why was Gronkowski out there? What was Bill Belichick thinking? What was Brady thinking? Blah blah blah. Why can't they just give us credit? Why can't they just be like, and to be fair, I mean, a couple places have said some things like, oh yeah, they executed well, blah blah blah, but come on, man. This team fights together, and it's like Kenyon Drake said at the end of the game, man. We might be down, but we're never out. And this is what, to me, this is the epitome. This game and what happened in this game is the epitome of, Gase's culture, right? The team that Gase wants, right? He's got the guys in this locker room, and it's crazy the amount of adversity that he's had to go through in his first 3 seasons. But the first season, 10-6 record, right? We make it to the playoffs. Unfortunately, the big thing in that season is we have this surprise, amazing season, and we lose our starting quarterback towards the end of it, and we end up losing in the first round of the playoffs. If Tannehill was there, I think we could have won that game, right? And then we don't have him for the 2017 season, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong. We get him back for the 2018 season. Everything is looking super promising. We've had 3 good drafts at this point. We got good free agents that we brought in, and then obviously this season it's been just nothing but injuries. But even still, we are 7-6. We have more wins than anybody thought that we were going to have at this point, except for me and other loyal Dolphins fans and so on and so forth. We've already broken past that expectation, and it's because this, what Gase has built here. I think that Stephen Ross, and I've been saying this since he brought him in, is I think Stephen Ross made the best decision he could have made as a owner to get Adam Gase as the head coach. I think that he is a phenomenal head coach. I think that, there is some room to be desired for sure in his play calling and stuff, but at the same time, I don't put a lot of that on him, considering the fact that he's always having to shuffle the personnel. I mean, I don't think people realize how big of a deal that is when you're constantly having to shuffle your personnel. Your receivers, your tight ends, your offensive line, right? It's tough, man. It's hard to scheme and game plan, and then you, at the end of the day too, you have to rely on these guys executing, right? So the chemistry on field is important, right? How many reps do they actually get to take with each other? Bryce Butler, only got here a couple weeks ago, and he's starting to make a pretty big impact. Brandon Bolden is being used more towards the end of the season out of necessity, and he's making an impact. I think this team is, I think, here's the thing. I think Gase has the culture and the people in the building that he wants. And I think because of that, it's far too understated. But I think that because of that, we are going to, I think that we're going to win out, man. I think that we're going to take this. I mean, like I said, it just shows the unity. This past game just shows the unity. They play for each other. They play for their head coach. Hopefully, I'm really eager to see how tomorrow's injury report is, because if we get Brendel and Howard back, then we are fucking golden, I think. I mean, obviously, any given Sunday, you never know what can happen. We're going to be on the road, blah, 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 blah. But I think, man, especially if we get Howard and Brendel back, I think that we are going to go into this game against the Vikings. We're going to come away with another win. People are just going to keep doubting us, man, and I love it. Bring it on. Bring it on. I've been saying it all season. I've been saying it forever now. Bring on the hate. Just keep it coming, because we're just going to keep proving everybody wrong. Did the season go how I thought it was going to go? No, I thought it was going to go a lot better. But then again, how was I supposed to predict all of these key injuries, right? But it's still going really well, actually. Yes, we have 6 losses. Yes, we have some disappointing losses. Yes, there's been a lot of disappointment. But despite all of the adversity, we're still 7-6. We are right there, and I think that we're gonna sweep, man. And especially if we win against the Vikings. When we win against the Vikings on Sunday, then we have the Jags at home, and then we're on the road for the Bills. And I'm telling you guys, 10-6. Another reason, though, is because our quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, I think since, I got to make sure I get all my stats correct because I'm just taking them off the dome. But if you follow me on Twitter, at Dillon Tartaro, which you should, if you haven't already, make sure you do so. I've retweeted, posts and stuff with all these stats. But if I got this correct, since he's been back from the shoulder injury, he's got like over a 120 passer rating. I think it's like 129.9 if I remember correctly. On the season, he's over 100 passer rating, which I believe is currently at 105, which is 6th best in the league. He's on pace for career bests in yards per attempt and passer rating, completion percentage, all these things. He out of his last 16 games, so the equivalent to a full NFL season, he's 12-4. Him and Gase seem to have this, they have this bond and this connection. And it's like I said in I think my last video, to me, I absolutely think they need to draft a quarterback to bring up under him. We definitely need a better backup than what we've had. So on and so forth. But I personally don't believe Tannehill actually needs outside, pressure, motivation, or any of that. I think that he does it himself because he's just that kind of competitor. He's always going out there. And I mean, he says it. He talks about it all the time, about how he's always trying to be better. Even in situations like in the Bengals game, I don't think that those turnovers were his fault. That was after we already were going into that game missing our starting center and our starting left guard, Sitton and Kilgore. We lose Laramie Tunsil. We're winning the game 17-3, I think it was, winning the game. Then we lose Laramie Tunsil. And then what swung that game was the 2 interceptions, right, for returns. The first one, the pocket collapses. Tannehill tries to throw the ball away. The tight end was right there, so he just tried to toss it at his feet, so it would just be a safe play, no intentional grounding, no kind of penalty. He doesn't take the sack, right? Dead ball, live to play another down, right? And I guarantee if he would have took the sack, people would be like, oh, he needed to throw it away. But he threw it away, and it just so happened to bounce off the tight end's helmet and land right into the arms of the defender for an easy score. It was just unlucky. Same thing with the other one. You know, I think it was just an unlucky bounce into the defender's hands. I mean, when you watch it, it was. I think Tannehill did the right things. Does he always make the right decision? No. Are there times when he should take the sack when, you know, or whatever, or throw the ball away instead of taking the sack? That's what I meant to say. Yes, but you know, he's definitely a great quarterback, and he's definitely more than capable of not just taking us to the play. I think he is absolutely capable of getting us to and winning a Super Bowl. He just needs he can't do it all himself. He's not Superman. You know, he needs to have an O-line, and he needs to have people around him. That's why this year, you know, the injuries were such a big deal, because he finally had all that. You know, he finally had all that. He finally had a really nice group of receivers and running backs and you know, some help at tight end finally. You know, the tight end position hasn't produced as much as we would like, but I think it's a really promising group, right? And we start losing guys left and right, and then obviously that's going to have a huge effect. But Tannehill's been on point. He's been killing it. He's got, in his game since he's been back, he's got 8 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's just been killing it, man. He's been killing it. And so anybody who argues that Tannehill is not the guy, blah, 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 whatever, I mean, it's oftentimes the arguments are just ill-founded. They're not factual, or they're not thinking about all the factors. They're just harping on one negative thing and just ignoring all the good stuff. I mean, look, man, he's the dude. And I think that finally he's starting to kind of get his respect, but I understand that people want to see more, especially the fans, and that's why I think that he's going to continue to play at the high level that he's been playing at, and I think he's a major reason why we're going to win out. And so when we end up going 10-6 and make it to the playoffs, and who knows, man, even depending on who we play, maybe we'll even win that first game. But once we get to 10-6 and at least make it to the playoffs this year, because I think at this point that will happen. So once we get there, man, I mean, what are the haters? What is everybody gonna say now about Tannehill and Gase and his team? I mean, like I said, we've already, exceeded expectations. Nobody thought we were gonna get 7 wins. The most anybody ever thought, coming into this season was 6. And even up until we won our 7th game, it was 6. Everybody's like, oh, they're gonna win 6 games. 5.5, 6 games. Come on. I'm telling you, man, there's special things here. There are special things here. And we gotta appreciate that, man. I'm telling you, even better things are coming. Next year, I mean, obviously, as Dolphins fans, we have learned that anything can happen. We've had, just in the past 3 years, we've had a great season, stalling out because we lose our starting quarterback. Then we have a season without the starting quarterback. An offensive line coach gets fired for snorting coke. We have a linebacker go AWOL. We're displaced by a hurricane. Like I said, everything that could happen did happen, right? In a terrible season. And this year, we just... statistically, by sheer odds, we're not going to have all that crazy shit from last year happen, but this year we got hit by one thing in particular. And even though I do think that the officiating has created a lot of problems for us, it's a league-wide problem, so everybody's having to deal with that. Everybody has to deal with injuries as well, but we're certainly on the upper end of the scale for injuries this year. We've certainly had more than damn near everybody, if not everybody at this point. And it's been tons of just key players. But think about it, man. Next year, we get all these guys healthy. We get Grant and Wilson back. Those are 2 really young, ascending players. Sitton and Kilgore are older, yes, but they're great players, and they'll definitely do good things for us once they come back, right? Same thing with William Hayes. But that is part of the reason why in those positions I do think we need to get younger. In this draft, I think we need to target the O-line and the defensive line, right? I think we need a center and a left guard. I think we need a defensive tackle and a defensive end, right? Anyway, so, you know, but we get all these guys back, man. You know, we get another good draft under our belts, and we're going to be looking pretty, man. I still think, and I've been saying this whole time, this franchise has a bright future, especially considering the Patriots dynasty. Again, I've said it for the past few years. I know it's been a very slow decay, but the signs are getting more bold and more frequent that it's coming to a close. This dynasty is almost over, and we are in prime position to take over, and we're gonna. So with that, guys, you know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because I want Dolphins fans to be able to take this moment to step back. Okay, you know, we enjoyed probably one of the greatest victories we will ever see, that there ever has been in Dolphins history, in NFL history. It was absolutely amazing. It's definitely one going down in the history books. And so, you know, with that, with this joy and the good feelings that we have right now, I'm hoping that we are able to, as a collective fan base, take a step back, okay? Take a step back and appreciate, you know, live in the moment, enjoy it, appreciate it, but realize, man, that there are good things on the future, on the horizon for this franchise. There are good things in the future coming. So, again, man, let's just, right now, let's live it, let's love it, let's get ready for this next game on Sunday against the Vikings. We're going to take this one and we're going to keep it rolling, baby. Let's get it. And look, man, I mean, I'm super excited. I know you guys are. I'm super anxious for this game. I'm super anxious for this upcoming game because I'm ready, man. I'm ready to see it. You know, I'm ready to see it. I want to put another one in the books. I want to get us to fucking 8-6 and hear what everybody has to say after that. And then 9-6 and then 10-6. And then, you know, see what happens when we get to the playoffs, and if we can make some noise, man, if we can win, you know, get that first win in the playoffs with Tannehill and Cameron Wake and all these guys, right? Rashad Jones. Anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to leave you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's been such a wonderful week. I cannot stop watching that game. It was so phenomenal, and I'm going to keep watching it over and over and over again, as I know you guys are. So if you like my video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want the alerts. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. And also follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. You can hit me up there. You can ask me your questions there. We can chop it up there. You can, you know, check out all my tweets and retweets. I put my videos up there as well. So make sure you follow me there. And with that, guys, I'm out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.